Yeah, I was just wanting to make a quick presentation on some information that correlates closely with my life experiences, and also just wanting to shine light in the darkness, I guess. So I'm wanting to share the following with my friends and whoever else is interested in it. Because I do believe that a lot of our Navy SEALs went into witness protection in order to bring light to the corruption within our government and throughout various departments. So I'll start with Extortion 17, and 17 is Q, because the 17th letter. Q is the 17th letter in the alphabet. It was also the deadliest day in the DevGru history and became one of the most devastating death tolls of the US Special Operation Forces. It is considered the worst loss of American lives in a single incident in the Afghan campaign, surpassing Operation Red Wings in 2005. I do believe that Aaron was the target in the Extortion 17 flight. The helicopter. And then Operation Red Wing links Mark Luttrell to me with Chris Kyle, as they were really good friends. Benghazi is also very pertinent in this, and the two SEALs there were Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. And then Operation Iraqi Freedom is related to Patrick Tillman. I do wonder what happened to our finest of the finest that went into witness protection, and I would like to say that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Our special forces were betrayed by this government, the Clintons, the Obamas, and the Bushes, and I feel they went into witness protection to expose the evil in this world. Were they deceived and betrayed in witness protection? I don't know. I asked this valid question because of the experiences I've had in the last year, and realizing that I am a targeted individual, and that I feel like my brothers, I have close correlation, like soul connections with them, and I feel I worry for them too, and I hope that they are safe. So I hate to even consider it because it's a difficult question, but very pertinent. The Illuminati know more about us than we know about ourselves. Apparently the dark within the light, aka energy vampires, hijack our spiritual gifts to manifest for themselves as children, and I'll explain how they do that, or how they did that to me, and I don't know if they did something similar to my brothers and sisters that went into witness protection, specifically the military, because they are very near and dear to my heart. I worry that many were betrayed by the lies of a few, and that lives were lost needlessly. And this is where my story comes in. Extortion 17. Okay, so that was the DevGru Galt squadron. There were 17 of them. That went down, well, the total of 38 in the actual rag. Okay, so when I take the value of each of these letters, right, I get to 36, which is a 9. And people are going to realize how very important 9/11, September 11th, is to myself, and also many of our warriors that went into witness protection. So it happened on August 6th of 2011, which comes to a 9. My birth name comes to 144, and if you stack the 4s, it's also 18, which comes to 9. 38 went into witness protection, I believe, because Hillary Clinton and the Obamas and the Bushes were after them. Why? Because of their spiritual gifts. I firmly believe that. And then I guess they were approached by apparently JFK Jr. was somebody that would get people into witness protection and out of Hillary's grasp or their evil plans. So there were 38 people, 3 and 8 is 11. They went down, the Chinook, the CH-47, C is the third letter of the alphabet, H is 8, 3 and 8 is 11, 4 and 7 is 11. There's where the 11 is pertinent, and this is how I'm linking the dots. Okay, 11 US servicemen enlisted after 9/11 of 2001, so of 2001, and it was reported as a fallen angel 30 seconds after the crash. And I do believe that obviously everybody is very important that did that, but I think there's one person in particular that was targeted, and that's Aaron Vaughan. So 9/11 2001 to 9/11 of 2012 is 11 years, and that's when Benghazi happened. So if I take 9/11 of 212, that's 16, which is a 7. The distance of the explosions was 1.6 kilometers, which is a 7. The time that it happened was 9:40, which is a 13. And these are all important numbers, which is a 4. Tyrone Woods' birth date goes down to 25, which is a 7. He died into witness protection, I believe, on 9/12 of 2012, which is 17. Again, there's a Q. Tyrone means land of Owen or young warrior. Glenn Doherty's date of birth was July 10th of 1970, which is 25, which is 7. Glen means narrow valley. Okay, so Aaron Bond is Alpha Charlie Victor. His second name is Carson. He was born on June 24th of 1981, which is 13, and flipped is 31. Aaron means exalted or strong. It has also been interpreted to mean teacher or mountain of strength. My name is Leilani Olafsson, which is Lima Oscar Romeo. I was born on December 8th of 1973, which is also 1331. Leilani means heavenly child. When I put Aaron's birth date into the Gematrinator with mine, when we add it all together, we get to 17, which is Q. I saw a video of Aaron a few years ago, and I had no idea who he was. I just recognized his voice, and I listened to it several times, like wondering who this person was. And like, I think that's maybe how we recognize each other, is by our voices. Patrick Tillman, his second name is Daniel. That's Papa Delta Tango Juliet. He was born on November 6th of 1976, and it's also a 1331. Patrick means nobleman. When I saw a picture of him, I was in a chat group on Telegram, in a group of -48, that I do believe was using a voice modulator and had several different people conversing on there. And they had shared that Patrick had gone into witness protection in order to expose the corruption in the NFL as well as in the military. And like, something shifted in my soul, like I recognized him somehow. And I would think of the elves in Lord of the Rings, and I never went any further than that, because I didn't really understand. But I think now I'm starting to understand more. Marcus Lateral was the paramedic that survived the Operation Red Wings. His date of birth is November 7th of 1975, which is also 1331, and Marcus means gift of God. Marcus was really good friends with Chris Kyle, and I believe Chris went into witness protection as well. His birthday is 4/8 of 1974, which is 33, which is an Ascended Master number. The other Ascended Master numbers that I can relate to in my life is my father, my mother, and Kim Clement, all come up to 33. Kim Clement is an evangelist that shared the word of God in America. I guess he was also threatened by Obama and also went into witness protection. He was also born in the same town as I was in South Africa, and its name is Unig. Okay, so Chris means bearer of Christ. I drove to work on Highway 287 in Midlothian. That's named after Chris. And 2, 8, and 7 comes to 17. And again, there's like 4 is his number. 4 comes in a lot where we are concerned. And there's many others. This is just how I just wanted to give a quick brief overview before I go into making an extended one. I'm just wanting to get something out there briefly, and then I'll elaborate more. Okay, so Dev Greek Gold Squadron is 228, which is 12, which is 3. I do realize that this has a Y on the end, and it usually has a U. I don't know how that typo came, because I copied and pasted, but it doesn't matter because the information is still pertinent. Because they are my brothers, and I guess I've got to be a voice for them and to find out where they are, and hopefully they can come home safely soon. I love you all so much, 228. Warriors from Heaven, 228. We've got your 6, 228. And I know they do. What is my purpose? 228. Expose the vampires and false light I get, and to love and be loved. Heaven is on earth, I am home. 228. This is going to be biblical. 228. The serpent and the dove. 228. Nobody knows my name. 228. God knows the truth. 228. We will never give up. 228. The best is yet to come. 228. United States of America. 228. Republic of South Africa. 228. Prepare the country. 228. The 1111 message. 228. The chosen one has awoken. 228. I'm on a mission from God. 228. We didn't start the fire. 228. We will win this war. 228. Reveal the apocalypse. 228. The apocalypse means truth to me. So it's the ending of all the lies and deceit and manipulation from this government, and also people pretending to be of the light that are not. They didn't see it coming. 228. Fighting for a common goal. 228. That common goal for me and my brothers are for humanity and humanitarian projects, and to love one another and make sure that this world is not controlled by corrupt people. No liars, no cheaters, no thieves. Law and order, rule of law is 228. Coming with the clouds. 228. Awakening from darkness. 228. 9/11 is a total lie. 228. It is. The planes that they showed us was CGI. The Clintons and the Obamas and the Bushes were behind that. And there's so much more relevance because those two towers represented, had symbolism, had a big meaning, and taking them down, they thought they were going to take us down. All men will rise and leave. 228. Access to the stargates. 228. The Area 51 secret. 228. Well, that is the stargate, I'm sure. The Department of Defense. 228. Rise up and rebuild America. 228. And this is the beauty of what's going on, which so many people don't realize, that every keystroke, every transaction, every phone call, anything that you do is being closely monitored by a slew of wonderful men and women that are making sure that only those with honesty and integrity are put in positions to rebuild this country, and other places, those that don't, will not be put in those positions. And that's why I think there's so much close scrutiny going on. And those of us who are truthful and honest will be the ones that will work with President Trump and his whole group of people. And that's what I think they are weeding out, the deceitful ones. So heaven and hell here on earth. 228. Elf, beautiful language. 228. And like I said, I think this is how we recognize each other, is by our voices. Who is Goddess Venus? 228. Authentic integrity. 228. Exaggerate and lie about her. 228. Illuminati fallen angels. 228. And I'll elaborate around that some more, because I know who you are and I know what you did, and the rest of the world is going to know too. Daniel into the lion's den. 228. Trying to steal the J. 228. Bible is a product of Rome. 228. And this is true, you know. This Charlie Freak and Collywog also come to 228. They share a great story about how the Bible was written. Okay, so it was by a Council of Nicaea. I think it was a group of 13, 14, 15 attorneys that decided which text would make up the Bible. I guess they worked with King James. That really, it wasn't his place to be, but Queen Anne, that was prior to him, didn't have a husband or children. So then they gave it to James, who really wasn't a good person, apparently. He was one of those that harmed children. But anyway, they manipulated the Bible and inverted some things to their agenda. And so there are a lot of inversions and things that are not truthful. And yeah, I'm sure that it will upset a lot of people, but the truth needs to get out, and the truth isn't always easy to grasp or want to understand. But once you realize that all of these constructs are created to control our minds and the way we think, it's just another crutch, and it's just another form of control, because it's not the truth. So I do believe that the white hats have been working with President Trump to retrieve everything from underneath the Vatican, so that we can actually have our true history revealed to us when those books come out, or when the internet and stuff is upgraded to be the truth. The Aquarian trumpet 228. He had been killed in Afghanistan 228. These are all of our guys there, right? And also Patrick. And then A, you are my special angel 228. The golden ratio of love 228. The Holy Grail bloodline 228. You are my kryptonite 228. Forever and for always 228. Evil eye serpents. Bye bye. Angels from a digital heaven 228. Faith of a mustard seed. Amen 228. I do have faith because I know what's coming, and I was put on this earth for a bigger mission, so I have no fear. Bombshell testimony 228. She's fierce but loving 228. I know I've made mistakes 228. Of course I've made mistakes, because I've had people spend a stupid amount of money on witchcraft to use against me. You know, a couple of years ago I'd never heard of necromancy, hydromancy, hoodoo, voodoo, graveyard magic, bitchcraft, witchcraft, animal sacrifices, really? And like even going into places and getting cow hearts? It's sick. Mirror magic, confusion spells, chaos magic, hexes, curses, scrying. I'd never even heard of this, but all I do know is that what goes around comes around. And the last year, my brain has been so scrambled from all of these things that people have paid a lot of money for, because they're jealous. And they think that they can take away your destiny and switch your life with theirs by soul harvesting or soul switching. And I guess they weren't successful for me, and this is how they got themselves exposed, or still are getting themselves exposed. So, you know, what do I say to that? Continue with the black magic, because the more that you do it and cast all this stuff on us, the quicker we wake up, and the faster you get rid of yourself, so that we can have a new world with clean and pure-hearted people, because that's where we're headed. We don't need deceitful people. So, like I said, I know I've made mistakes, and it's pure, and it's related to witchcraft, because I do not lie, I do not steal, and I'm not a dishonest person. So, you know, and I would gladly be hooked up to a polygraph machine, and you can pump me full of sodium pentothal if you want to. And I'm wondering if the people that targeted me last year would be willing to do the same. I can bet you not, because they don't know how to be truthful. But like I said, I'm just getting started. I'm going to get more in depth later on. This is just a tidbit of the information. So, God's highest law is choice 228. Every morning that we open up our eyes, we have a choice. You can choose to be a good person and be honest and have integrity and help others and be kind and gentle. Or you can use manipulation and lying and thieving and stealing. I, honest to God, do not know how people do that. How do you keep up with all your lies and deceit? It just takes way too much energy, and I have no desire. So it's easier just to be honest. Okay, the perfect legal storm 228. Loyal partnerships 228. Lemurian common sense 228. And it is, you know, I guess I am linked to Lemuria somewhere, because I have a prayer that I say, and it's like light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. And I recently found out that that was a Lemurian prayer. Unleash the storm MQ is 228. Okay, so my birthday is December 8th, 1973, which is 13, which is M. You're 49. I will be 49 this December, which comes to 13 as well. And also, if you take my birth date to 2022 is 17, there we get your MQ. It's not a lie, it is me. When you realize you have imposters that are trying to be you, and how they did it is by sending a monster to you when you were 6 years old, to steal your spiritual gifts and use it for their own benefit. It's like shocking. And it's going to be so difficult for people to grasp or even believe, but it's the absolute truth. Preparing for a big event, 228. Bloodline of Mary Magdalene, 228. And this is something that I've come across quite a bit. And we have a family line of healers. But obviously when you're living in a world with a corrupt system, that's not really healers. It gets lost. But I did send in my DNA earlier on this year, and I'm sure there will be links made to see, you know, because I think it would be wonderful. And also when I did that, I came to the 4th through the 8th cousins of the Kennedys. Now we know JFK and Jr. and all those people, we can't lump them with the Kennedys because they're really not. They've made themselves known as the Clooney's. So I don't think are part of the real Kennedy family, which is the McLeod Kennedys. And I think actually President Trump there might be a line link there, but also I don't believe that he's a Trump. I believe that he's a General Patton's son. Whew, but I'm not going to overload too much. Okay, lies will come to light, 228. The occult, the cuckolds, 228. Shame will be on every face, 228. Words to save lives, 228. Secret societies suck, 228. Jackpot, 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 228. Thank you, I am grateful, 228. See the numbers talking, 228. Intuitive psychic, 228. And I'm still learning, you know, when you're trying to harness your gifts, but your brain is so scrambled because you have jealous people, women, and I guess then you have, you know, the CIA and the government that know more about us than we know about ourselves, and they just like try and pickle your brain because they don't want you to wake up. I guess it's like I said, it's shocking and overwhelming, but I have a voice and now I'm going to speak up. God directs your path, 228. This is not a bad person, 228. Puke them out, goddess, 228. We all goddesses. You know, when you balance your energies, we all gods and goddesses. And I think it's like Psalms 82 verse 6 that says that. But again, it's like we're all children of God. We all have the choice to be good or bad. Okay, arrogant gang stalkers, 228. False accusing parasites, 228. Tear down the false matrix, 228. The trumpet sounded, 228. Feel my fist of truth, 228. The destroyer of lives, 228. Stay locked on Arizona, 228. Coming apart at the seams, 228. The deceiver is punished, 228. Evil in panic, payback time, 228. Hoodoo voodoo back at you, 228. I am falsely accused of evil, 228. Not cruel to others, 228. I didn't post anything, 228. This fight isn't over, 228. Those who are paid to lie, 228. They are so caught now, 228. German girl blinking fast, 228. Sorry, Blondie, I know. You picked on the wrong one, babes, because they've been monitoring since the day I was born. And this is my job, is to expose the deceitful people, the ugly ones that don't have pure hearts, that want to be other people. They're so insecure with who they are themselves. They think it's okay to come and want to harvest someone else's spiritual gifts, and they lie. Really? It's crazy. Anyway, a cold-blooded reptilian, 228. Everyone will know, 228. Knowingly betrayed me, 228. And negative 48 is full of lies, 228. Hey Mike, I forgive you, 228. Fast forward the movie, 228. Truth of all truth, 228. Last chance to all of you, 228. Nobody above the rules, 228. Project Quantum Leap, 228. Be prepared for the event, 228. Nasara Jasara Gold Standard, 228. Q, we're not gonna take it, Q, 228. Mary Magdalene is Venus, 228. Esther saved the nation, 228. I don't want to be, but I am, 228. Kim Clement prophesied about a lady that was going to shake up this country. And since he was born in the same town as me, and we have all these numbers and crazy synchronicities everywhere. I guess that person is me. And like it says, I don't want to be, but I am. And since I'm a child of God and my name means heavenly child, I'm here for a greater purpose. And I guess it's to defeat the corruption, the people. I don't stand for ugly people. Okay, we've got to be loving and kind. The day the tables turn, 228. I will bring apocalypse, 228. Following the 11s, 228. All good things are coming, 228. Full disclosure now, 228. Extortion 17 comes to 249, which is 15, which is 6. The summoning of heroes, 249. There's no fun like work, 249. 1111 is the signal, 249. Knowledge and information, 249. I agitated cleansing in people, 249. My voice hurts the devils, 249. Angels surround us, 249. God knew me before I was born, 249. I was tricked by my enemy, 249. The master manipulator, 249. The mistress of all evil, 249. Who isn't what he appears, 249. More than just a coincidence, 249. Crimes against humanity, 249. Super soldier program, 249. Heir to the throne of David, 249. We want those diamonds back, 249. The tree of righteousness is 249. I'm not jealous of anyone, 249. That's like weird to me. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's like to be jealous. I don't know. You can't force anybody to want to be with you. And if you try and think that making somebody jealous is going to make them run after you or want to be with you, it's the worst thing to do. That's someone that has their energies balanced, because I don't know, when you're in your divine feminine state, like, you don't grovel, you're not jealous, you're not deceitful, you don't hate other people, it's just not that. It's just, there's certain things you won't tolerate. And I don't know, I'm just not a jealous person. I'm not jealous of anyone. I don't envy people that have things, because God blesses us all in our own way, and we all have abundance in various things. Okay. Love one nation under God, 249. And this is what this country was originally based on, but it was cursed from the beginning, apparently. So now it's all been reset. So we're going to build a whole new world. Texas, get ready to fiesta, 249. Time to fry the matrix, 249. The reincarnation of love, 249. The great awakening is now, 249. Make digital wallets available, 249. Awesome. Love you, dudes, 249. She will shock the world, 249. Your voice is a blessing, 249. The rise and the return, Q, 249. Crowns not for snakes, 249. I know and I do not consent, 249. I am a warrior of God's army, 249. 3.14 is pi, 249. Remember I said all those 1331s? So if you take the 1331s, 3 and the 1 is 4, right? 3.14 is your pi. Numbers are everything, 249. You wouldn't listen, 249. Scientology stalkers, 249. They're all frauds and liars, 249. A force is great with this one, 249. Minotaurs are unholy, 249. So that's what was sent to me when I was a little girl. And then I found out, oh, let me go on. Faked his death in an airplane crash, 249. J.F. Kennedy Jr., God is real, 249. What he did to the 13, 249. Target individual marked, 249. Vampire Brotherhood, 249. The first out of the darkness, 249. God relieve me of my enemies, 249. I'm the serpent slayer, cute, 249. Gitmo is the door to hell, 249. We will win against evil, 249. The big elephant in the room, 249. Friends, don't do my bidding, 249. I speak for myself. Forgive but don't forget, 249. Elvis has left the building. 249. Elvis is so big in this, and I'll get to that later. So all of the stuff in your enlightenment, you all have clues in the beginning of your life to help us at this time. It's just going inside and finding those clues. And he pulled the trump card, 249. Pops loves my waffles. 249. I talk a lot. So I always like when I make my YouTube videos, I'm like, thank you for joining me for my waffle this morning. Don't steal my tagline, slick. Anyway, Steve Jobs owns Google, 249. Steve Jobs is so awesome. You know, he didn't die. He's John Lennon, and he's one of my protectors, because 5 months after I had the beast attack me on my 7th, I think it was my 7th birthday, when in 1980s, when I do believe he went into witness protection. I do believe he's one of my protectors, as well as Jim Morrison and Elvis. I'm still learning and still awakening and still connecting dots, but I love them very much, as well as all the soldiers that have my back. Good night, God, I love you. 249. Okay, so we're ready for some more fun. Okay, Elvis Aaron Presley. Take his initials. We have Echo Alpha Papa. On August 15th of 1977, there was a wow signal that reverberated through the heavens. When I take that date, I get 11. I think that was the first signal that was sent, that I was under attack. And this is kind of interesting, because I'm really not trying to elevate myself above anybody else and like go, ooh, look at me. I'm not. I'm just sharing my story. And I guess God has a bigger purpose for me. And around this time was when I had a tonsillectomy. So my throat was the first thing that I guess was attacked. And I don't know if that's when they found me or what it was, but that's the next thing that happened was when they sent the beast to me. So anyway, I do believe that Elvis Presley went into witness protection on the 16th. Okay. When I put my name into gematria, the value is 144. Through stack the 4, you get 18, which is 9. So it's also Elvis is alive, comes to 144. Drop the hammer, 144. Listen to him, 144. Bob Joyce, Elvis, 144. Clement First, 144. Never give up, 144. God's 13, 144. God bless you, 144. Clear wake up call, 144. Sweet home, Alabama, 144. And I live in the state of Alabama, which is also the justice state. Heaven's Secret is 144. The Unnamed Angel, 144. Heart of the Ocean, 144. Moloch Crushed, 144. 9 is the Key, 144. Go Team Shepherd, 144. Karma, boom, I win, 144. Wake up, Michelle, 144. 8th of January 1935 to 8th of January 2022 is 87 years. It gives us a 6. So also it's 45 years ago this year that Elvis Presley went into witness protection, and 4 and 5 is 9. On his death certificate, it stated that he died sometime between 9 and 11, but it's documented as 3:30. So there again, I have another 9/11 confirmation with 33. The 8th of January till my birth is 38 years and 11 months. If you add 3 and 8, it's 11. Therefore, again, 11. My neighbours as a little girl were Bob and Joyce. Kim Clement was born in the same town as I was. Steve Jobs is also John Lennon. That's 238, which is 13, which is 4. He went into protection on my 7th birthday, which was December 8th of 1970. John was 40. There's another 4. Okay. If I add that date together, it gets to an 11, and that was approximately 5 months after I encountered the beast. I am your friend always, 238. Humans with eagle wings, 238. Soon to be seen by sight, 238. Supernova shockwave, 238. And that man of sin be revealed, 238. Ark of the Covenant found, 238. Extraordinary event, 238. Truth, justice, mercy, 238. 2 witnesses of God, 238. Wake up, Sleeping Beauty, 238. Woman with the heart of gold, 238. They don't even know me, 238. The ones who are hippies, 238. Voice in the wilderness, 238. Your ultimate calling, 238. Bury the competition. 238. Operation Red Wings. 212 is 5, which is Grace. Silent Witness. 212. John Lennon, legendary. 212. Get ready for excellence. 212. We are fighting for good. 212. The Soul Connection. 212. Chart this Metatron. 212. So the Soul Connection was the group of my Telegram group. Is the Soul Connection through holistic health and wellness. And apparently I was like, people were stealing my information, trying to be me, which is comical. But anyway, we'll continue. The Reawakening of America is 212. Master number 11. 212. There are no coincidences. 212. Teamwork. Teamwork. 212. A link between worlds. 212. Truth and honesty. 212. John Kennedy Jr. 212. Jesus myth revealed. 212. Project Soul Catcher. 212. I am on the correct path. 212. Know your enemies. 212. I never killed anyone. 212. Advocate for world peace. 212. Great psychic ability. 212. The Venus flytrap. 212. Rainbow Bridge activated. 212. Heaven's army is ready. 212. So I'm going to do this. You know, the John Kennedy thing. So in that group that I was in last year, they stated that negative 48 was John Jr. or his brother Patrick. Apparently, these people lie so much. Apparently, they're not dead. So it's either John or Patrick. And then there's Michael Protzman that I guess was manipulated by people too. But I do think he has good intentions, and I'm hoping that he's not being the fall guy for the people that are not so great. But I don't know. I don't know for sure. The things that happened to me last year, I was targeted by a group of women. There was one by her name started with an A that made sure that she was she like orchestrated this stuff, and the other one's name started with an M. There were a bunch of them. So anyway, they dropped my body temperature so low one day. It took 5 or 6 hours for me to regulate my body temperature. And the two women that were directly involved were trying to figure out if one of the influencers, I will go with JQ, was their twin flame. I'd never even heard of a twin flame. I didn't even know what it was. But these two women wanting to find out if this dude was their twin flame or something. So they wanted to do some... I thought it was like a healing deal, but they dropped my temperature so low, and it took forever to get it back up. And then they came back the next day, and they said, oh, M wants to do it again. I was like, oh, heck no. Only to come and find out later that that's how they do a soul switch or soul harvesting. So they tried to sacrifice me, I guess, to take my abilities and my gifts and give it to someone else. Well, honey, people, if this stuff is written in the stars from the beginning of time, you can't take what's not yours. It doesn't work like that. But if you wanted to, and whatever they did, I guess, they wanted to be me so bad, so that what they didn't realize is I'm operating from my North Node. I'm authentic, I'm truthful, I'm honest, I'm kind. I've settled my karmic debts. So when you do that, I guess spiritually, it means you want to go through all the bad things that I've gone through. And I don't know why anybody would want to take on a karma that somebody else has already settled, because you're so jealous and insecure of someone, you don't even know how to be yourself. I think that's very sad. And I send these people love and blessings because I don't know how to be anything other than myself. And I'm so sorry if the light of my heart and my honesty and that hurts you or irritates you. It just means there's something that needs to be fixed within you, and you can't do this stuff to other people. And my children suffered, and I don't know what happened in late March, early April this year, but it's like slowly then things started unscrambling, but my mind was so messed up. And again, it's from all of the hoodoo, voodoo and all that stuff, and I would never wish anything ill on anyone. But I guess what goes up must come down. I don't wish anything bad on anyone's children, so I hope to God they didn't wish the bad things on mine. Because my children are pure and they are innocent. And you don't mess with my children. So yeah, know your enemies, 212. And yeah, I guess I never killed anybody, so I don't know. There was something else about, I don't know if JFK is dead or alive, to be honest. He faked his death the first time around. I was listening to a post a while ago that I do believe. I mean, if he's the one that sent the beast to me when I was a little girl, and I'm almost positive of that, because he was in South Africa over that time, and his mom had to write a letter to his college professors for tests or something he had failed. I have a screenshot. I'll share it when I go into more detail in another presentation. So again, I hate to falsely accuse someone, but it's just interesting because also in 1988, over Easter, everything that happened to me in my life, bad, deaths, losses, surgeries, was always in or around Easter. So in 1988, I had to have an emergency appendectomy and I had to stay in hospital on prophylactic antibiotics for potential peritonitis. Well, in that same year, on September 12th, he was voted the sexiest, or labeled the sexiest man on earth. So when you start realizing that someone's harvesting your energy to manifest for themselves, it's actually putrefying. I don't know. It's kind of sick and twisted in a way that you can't just be yourself and stand on your own 2 feet, that you have to use someone else's energy to manipulate things to boost yourself. I don't know. I have no idea, but I was led to believe that he was one of the people in negative 48, and there were several women that said so. One had, her name was Michelle Khan, another one was Adriana, another one was Kristen. And there was another lady that denied it, but she was lying. Or the Patrick thing. I have no idea. I really don't care. But it's out of that group that I was targeted. So I just steered clear from it. And then also I was so I guess when they couldn't sacrifice me spiritually, then I almost felt lured to Dallas. And this is why it was like, it was an awkward thing. I had a lady come and stay on my boat, and I loved her. She's very sweet. But I went back to my boat and she was speaking to somebody on the phone, but something changed. I could feel the change. There's a shift in energy. And all of a sudden, my intuition was piqued. So when we went down to Dallas, I just had this really awkward feeling. And everybody was going to meet at the Dealey Plaza, right? Because apparently JFK and everybody were going to do this grand awakening or whatever is coming out. And Michael, negative 48, well, when he was playing that role, because we know they switch it, I was close enough. He didn't notice me, but I go on energy. That's how I can tell if somebody, I don't know. I recognize people on their energy as well, I guess. So I didn't feel anything, but I went and sat on the grassy knoll and watched everybody gathering around them, and I just kept my distance because something felt off. But they're also going to have a Rolling Stones concert on November 2nd of 2021, which comes up to 18, which is 9. If I take the wow signal that was in 1977 to 2021, it's exactly 44 years. So, you know, listening to tarot readers who are actually angels and star seeds that are helping with this great awakening. And if you are high vibration and people are tapped into your energy, I think you can actually pick up on stuff. So they had said that since these people couldn't sacrifice me spiritually, they tried to lure the divine feminine, and we all divine feminine, especially those of us that have our energies balanced, right, to an event. And then it was like, shit, I remembered the Rolling Stones concert, and I ended up not going because it just was so uncomfortable. And I just didn't feel right. So I actually, I'd gone to stay. Oh, this lady that stayed on the boat with me, she was like, oh no, you need to stay at these people's houses. And I was like, no, I just didn't feel comfortable. And also because she was saying that I'd have to sleep in a bed with another woman, and I don't do that. I'm sorry. It's just not something that, even though it's nothing sexual, I just don't sleep with strangers. So I didn't, but I did meet a gentleman, I think that was Justin, I don't remember really, because they didn't like me a whole lot because they didn't understand what I was trying to say. And, you know, every one of us on this earth is responsible for the state of the earth, obviously from previous incarnations and stuff. And I was trying to explain that, you know, Americans have been exposed to the mind manipulation a lot longer and the mind control. And they didn't like what I was saying. But it's the truth. I mean, these, like, I can speak from South Africa, right? Because we didn't have McDonald's in South Africa until I left, and everybody's health went to hell in a handbasket after that. So I was like, what's the difference with the food? So I do feel like Americans have been subjected to the evil powers for a lot longer, and maybe that's why it takes people longer to wake up. I'm not sure, but I mean, Hollywood is a huge satanic mess. The government's a huge satanic mess. Not President Trump. He's part of the military operation exposing these asshats. So, and I know that all of them are at Gitmo. And that's the other thing. When you are aware of what's going on and you realize that George W. Bush was a traitor to this country, which was a huge eye-opener for me, because if you have a crinkled flag on your casket, it means you are a traitor to your country. So that was like interesting in and of itself. So when they had his funeral, I do believe that he had actually gone down to been arrested and put into Gitmo. And if you do aerial photographs of Gitmo from, I don't know, 20 years ago and now, it's like a lot of money went into there. Why? To put these evil people that have been trafficking children and adrenochrome and all of that, right? But to me, it's like, what's the difference between that and harvesting someone's energy and taking away their sovereign rights and their free will? You don't have any right to do that. It's still a form of Satanism, and it's no one has the right to do that. So anyway, carrying on. Advocate for world peace, 212. Yes, the war's got to stop. It's not really a war going on anyway. It's all part of the movie, I'm sure. So I do believe with Putin going through Ukraine, they are taking out the satanic sect of the Freemasons, because unfortunately everything is layers and layers and layers deep. So on the surface, these people are pure of heart. They want to do great things in their communities, but deeper down with the skull and bones and the 33-degree Masons, they actually harm children too. So, you know, that's what I do believe. Putin is taking out those. And when we take a step back, you have to realize that these places have not been taken out in America yet. So, yeah, we do want world peace. And I do believe when our awesome military comes in to take these out, take out the satanic buildings in this country, or those buildings that have had atrocities happen to children in them, they would probably take them out, and they would use rods of God. And anybody that isn't aware of what's going on is going to be scared straight, I guess, to wake up. And once they realize, they're going to think it's something crazy going on. And again, that's just my hypothesis. I'm just not saying it is. It's just what makes the most sense. Okay, so great psychic abilities, 212. The Venus flytrap, 212. Rainbow Bridge activated, 212. Heaven's Armies ready, 212. Okay, so I threw this one in here as well. Benghazi, 9/11, 2012, because it's related with the 11. So there we go. We have 242. Have a good day. Get some sunshine on your face. 242. I am highly favored and truly blessed. 424. I really am. You know, I was born 2.5 months premature. I weigh 2 pounds and 1 ounce in a third world country, in a teeny tiny town, and I don't have any deficits. So I am truly blessed. And this is why I'm here. It's finally figuring it out. And that's where we're at. Indigo children during the end times, 424. For his loving kindness endures forever, 424. I will do what I feel is right and nothing less, 424. We wrestle against wickedness in high places, 424. Corruption has to go, not even sorry, 424. Lord, what can I really do to help the world? 424. Woe to those who love evil and wickedness. 424. She got colitis after having an appendectomy. 424. So that's what happened to me in 1988. And then you realize that when you have a vampire and they're stealing your energy, and that's how they do it, they create all these things in your life. These traumas are not even natural things. It's manipulation of energies, and this is how they harvest your energy. It's kind of sick and twisted in its own way. But again, you know, what can you do when you're 48 years old and you realize that you've really had no free will because other people think that they have the right to you. But again, it's like, what can you do? You can just forgive them, right? Bless the mental hunchbacks and let them on their way. I do forgive these people because, I mean, how can you not? How can you not forgive somebody that is so insecure with who they are? It's like, how can you be angry? Oh, I forgive you guys. It's okay. I hope you have a wonderful life. Okay, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, 424, I do not worry because I know the truth, 424. Why does the court system even bother, 424? The court system is so silly. You know, if people step back and realize that the court systems are created to make people hate each other, and there's really no resolve ever, you just end up leaving angry and in low vibration. So I was led to believe that, oh well, God has a bigger purpose for me. So my ex-husband and I got divorced last December. No qualms at all. Excuse me. Because at the end of the day, the most important people, anytime a family gets split up, are the children. So we need to always consider them and do things in their best interest. Both of my divorces have been that way. And my children are so well-rounded as a result because they realize that we could still be friends with our ex-spouses for the benefit of them, so they can stay balanced and whole. You know, I come from a family that was divorced, and my mom used us as pawns against my dad, and I will never do that to my children because it's unnecessary. And that's why I don't agree with the court system, because nobody wins. The attorneys are deceitful too, and they're manipulated as well in their ways. There's so many people that are bribed to do things, and they don't have integrity. So I don't know. I don't believe in the court system. That's why I also don't believe in signing contracts and stuff, because my word is my contract. Our way is difficult, but we are not at a dead end. 424. Why wasn't that police officer wearing a camera? 424. So this makes me think of George Floyd, right? Because that was just a thing, again, to create, to invoke a mass response from the people. If you look closely at the stuff with George Floyd, the police officer didn't have a camera. He had his hand in his pocket. And they were crisis actors. You cannot speak if you cannot breathe. It's the same thing with the January 6th thing in DC with Ashley Babbitt, right? Guys, if you're shot, your complexion, your body goes into shock. Your complexion changes. And that blood was a little bit bright, right? And her complexion didn't change. So it's another clue that it's a crisis actor. We have clues. The other thing that kind of bothers me a little bit, and all the MK Ultra, like the Jean Benet story, I mean, is that MK Ultra? Because she wasn't murdered. She's actually Katy Perry, if people would go and check that out and compare the pictures. So why do they do this? You know, I love Lynn Woods so much, but I'm like I'm trying to wrap my brain around that and understand it. Maybe they'd explain. I know that they're trying to make us aware of stuff, but I don't quite get that one. So the Archons didn't believe there was a God above them, 424. I guess God sends his angels, and I believe Extortion 17 are angels. All of our Navy SEALs are angels because they are so smart and they have phenomenal stamina and spiritual gifts. And I do believe that this is an Archon war. I didn't even know what an Archon was a few years ago. But it is, you know, we live on a slave planet, and there's always some power that wants to have control over humanity. And we are free beings. We don't need to be controlled. We don't need governments. We don't need kings and queens. What we need is to be retaught on how to take care of ourselves and how to govern our own communities without being reliant on a government. Because if we take care of our children from a young age and we don't let them have aborted tissue and insect DNA injected into them, we don't affect how their minds work, and they don't need to be programmed in a school. They can be taught to use their natural abilities to the best of their ability. That's the purpose. That's why we are here. You know, but yet religion teaches you about sin, and they want to curse everybody that does things. But we're supposed to make mistakes. How do you learn if you don't make mistakes? That's the whole point of this, is you learn from your mistakes. I guess some of us just learn quicker than others, because if you continue to make a mistake or do the same thing and continue to get into trouble, I don't know, eventually you stop doing it. I did. And you don't wish bad things on other people, because then you just bring it back on yourself, because the universe doesn't work like that. It's like, oh, okay, so you want this and these are your thoughts. Okay, this is what I'm going to give you. So I think anybody that has pure intentions and is pure of heart, and other people try and harm them, they just bring destruction in their own lives, because you can't go against people that have no ill intent. Anyway, when gang stalkers believe their own lies, 424, take back your power, humanity, rise up, 424. My mother is coming for you, elite fools. 424. That is the force. That is that sound that left wherever it was in 1977. And I do believe there's a force coming down on the earth, and that's going to be a reckoning to wake people up. I don't know how it all materializes or what it is, but it's like, and again, I'm not trying to elevate myself. I'm also just trying to understand all the craziness of this, that we have these soul connections to people, and that's our primary focus, is to, you know, get it to hang out and find one another so we can make the world a better place and we can fulfill our humanitarian projects. That's why we were sent here. Okay, Operation Iraqi Freedom is 223. Here's my 1331. Remember my number, Patrick's number, Aaron's number, Marcus's number. I'm sure there's more. I'm still working through the list of my brothers that were part of Extortion 17 that went into witness protection. So anyway, the extraordinary man, 233, the mystery of love, 233, truth always wins, 233. Oh, I threw this in here. I'm on board, my twin flame, 223, go, 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 touchdown, 233, timing is everything, 233, the calm before the justice, 233, take me in, O tender woman, 233, she was deceived by Lucifer, 233, God sent me a protector, 233. So Patrick Tillman was thought, was his deal, was the Operation Iraqi Freedom. So I popped his name on there as well. So MK Ultra Mind Control is 233. This is what like kind of makes me question. It's like and again, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I just don't trust John Jr. since I've identified him as I don't know. It's like I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. But if you're in my country when I have one of the most weirdest experiences, and then all of a sudden like you're drawing on my energy, and there's no such thing as a coincidence. I can only ask, right? So did these group of people know more about the spiritual gifts of others? And that's why I'm fearing for the safety of my brothers that potentially trusted someone that I don't believe is trustworthy, given the experiences, right? And did they put them into situations where they were MK altered, where I mean, the stuff these women do is actually pretty disgusting. Just listening to the spiritual advisors, and I call them the angels because that's exactly what they are. They're exposing what's going on in the darkness. I mean, I want for women to rise up and be balanced in themselves. But I draw a very fine line with stuff. Once you start using your body fluids, your menses, to manipulate people, you are sick and twisted on a whole different freaking level. And I don't know how to help people like that. I guess they have to learn to help themselves and love themselves. Because if you have to go to those lengths to keep a man with you, you have problems. Or to control someone's destiny. And if this is what they've done to our soldiers, I mean, well, we know that the Obamas and them did because they would feed them adrenochrome to do stuff. You know, Jesse Sabota shares about that as well, and it's like shocking. So, and it's not only there, I mean, it does happen in the military. That's why they stuffed Michael Aquino in there as well. And he was a Satanist. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes that this country ever made. But at least now we know that it's being remedied, right? And that he died in 2020. Well, hopefully he's dead. Because he doesn't have any goodness in him. And I have no remorse saying that. Evil people, we don't need a world with evil people anymore. And this is why those types of people are dying out. And they will reincarnate, I guess, and hopefully learn new lessons so that they can be pure of heart, so we can all be on the same page and make this world a better place. So, best love in all creation, 233. You are here for a reason, 233. Forgiveness is freedom, 233. Their fates are sealed now, 233. Want to be her daddy, the Doors, 233. So this is where I've linked like Jim Morrison, and I love him. He was Rush Limbaugh, and he did amazing things. And I was led to believe that Rush Limbaugh didn't actually die. He went back into witness protection for this time. So I pray that that is true, and that they can help us like understand all this crazy of the world. Okay, they think they are safe, 233. And he overturned tables, 233. Hey, by the way, I wanted to say about Bush's funeral. I do believe that all the corrupt people were arrested that day and taken down to Gizmo. So that's why it's like kind of, you can, yeah. Show them we are better, 233. Stealing your soul, 233. It belongs to me. You can't have what's mine. Because God has a bigger purpose for me to serve humanity and help others. Nobody can take that away, clearly. So South African gold mines, 233. So this is what when I see this, it makes me think of Inky, right? Because Inky, if you look at his history, he they lead you to believe that he created humans to mine the minerals of the earth, because they needed to take the gold to make gold dust or turn it into the powder, or whatever it is on the periodic table, because these are things that they need on their planet to do various things. So, and they did that from the South African mines. Actually, Zimbabwe used Rhodesia. It was known as Rhodesia, had the biggest mines as well. And I think the cabal took them out first and just created so much famine in those countries. So there is that, and Inky did have estates, I think, in South Africa. And it's kind of, but apparently he did love humans very much. And then there's Enlil, which they always had this battle between them. But like I said earlier on, the story changes. There's one where Inky took Inanna from Orion, I guess, or Lyra, and then took her to the Pleiades, and then brought her to Earth and took her through 7 gates. And this is how these people harness angelic energies, I guess, and to keep their portals for dark matter. And then the other story was that Inanna was Inky's daughter, which she wasn't. She's actually Enlil's granddaughter. So those are the archons that I've kind of connected with. I have no idea what it all means. I guess in time, I will know the truth of it, right? Okay, so the true great awakening is 233. Profound discernment is 233. God, please keep my kids safe, 223. Not just my biological children. I ask God to protect all the children on this earth, even those that have wicked parents. I hope that God will keep those children safe. Safe you will be with me is 233. Our mission on earth is 233. Ready to fiesta like it's 1776, 233. So there's a 17 and there's a 6 and there's 76, okay? So there we have a Q and a 13, which is M. Okay, so here's my little slide on Jim Morrison, Rush Limbaugh, which is 292, which is 13. Again, wow. Can you see the numbers working? Okay, so awesome, good, Illuminati 296. So this is what it is. I think maybe there are more people like me on this earth that were put, our soul contract was to expose the darkness in the light. So those pretending to be of the light that are not. So I guess that's what it is. And I'm just, again, shining a light on something that's very difficult, because I don't want to accuse anyone of anything. But since no one's willing to come forward and tell you the truth, so how can you think otherwise, especially when you hear about people wanting to sacrifice you and take your soul and give it to someone that's undeserving? Or take it for themselves. I don't even know how people think like that. It's hilarious, actually, to me, because you're not God. You can't dictate someone else's life. Anyway, elf weapons can cause a heart attack. Yes, it can. 292. Elf is extremely low frequency. Okay, so December 8th is when he was born. Jim Morrison was born on December 8th of 1943. And he went into protection, witness protection, on the 9th of October 1971, which is also comes to a 10. There we go, a 1010. Don't we have a 1010 on the Mickey Mouse clock? The other correlation I've made to 1010 on the Mickey Mouse clock is Gladys Love Presley, which is Elvis Presley's mom. She passed away in 1958 on, I think it was August 14th. And it's always August, right? Because that was when we had the wow singers as well. And Elvis was in the military, and Gladys was 46 years old, so it's 10. And Elvis went back 10 days after her death. He went back to the military. So there I have another 1010. So it's really interesting. And then that's it. Okay, so what else does Rush say for me, or what I'm pulling on it, is you've been waiting for this, 292. Fear nothing, God is with you, 292. An angel who kills all the devils, 292. Mirror, mirror on the wall, 292. I'm on my way to see you soon, 292. Illuminati killed Nikola Tesla, 292. They really did, you know, that poor man. He was so brilliant, and they ended up stranding him and stealing his technologies after driving him nuts. So that's interesting. And I guess John tries to sell him off as being a reincarnation of Nikola Tesla as well as I think the other one that they show pictures of is Abraham Lincoln. I'm sorry, if you come after a little 6-year-old girl for her energy, you don't have any honesty. Or how can I? And I'm not trying to trash the dude, but he's had opportunity to come and speak to me. But he, like I said, you know, he went into witness protection. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's not alive anymore. Or maybe they went into some other witness protection. I don't know. The gentleman hasn't bothered to explain himself, and perhaps they never will. I don't know. But I'm sure there's somebody in the Illuminati that can explain to us how they do these things, how they conjure up those monsters to come and send them to us to take away our free will. Okay, they are getting a lot crazier at 292. 3 strikes, you're out, 292. This is something that I live my life by, because I love people and I love to be around people and I love to have friends, but I don't grovel. I don't. And to me, is that if I send you messages and you don't respond, or like after the third time, if you don't return a call or message me back, and I'm not a hound, I don't bug you, but if I don't hear back, I just walk away, because if you don't have time for me, then I don't want to be a bother to anybody. So yeah, I do go on this 3 strikes, you're out. And that's just, you cannot keep things that don't serve you well in your life, or that bring you down or make you feel poorly. I mean, there's no point in that. And that's why I don't lie, because I don't know how in the heck people keep up with their lies. And I don't keep a record of wrongs. I can't tell you, I can't throw things up, right? I don't think anybody should. But I do forgive people, but I don't forget. I don't remember or harbor it or think on it or harp on it. I'm just like, if you don't love me enough to have honesty, integrity, then why share my life with me? That's just my view on it. So moving on, follow true love to the end is 292. We have always been with you, 292. And I do believe that. I do believe that Elvis and now Jim and John Lennon are my protectors. I do believe somebody else as well, but I'm not ready to go there. But I do believe they know more about me, and they've been my angels, and they are protecting me, as well as my brothers in the military and my sisters in the military, because we don't want to forget them. Let's see. Become who you were born to be, 292. Her guardian angel protects her, 292. They choose to believe Lucifer, 292. Ugly guys go by the name of Bob, 292. So I laugh at this one because I think this is Jim poking fun at Elvis, because we know that Elvis is going by Bob Joyce, right? And that's his clue for me. He chose that name as a clue for me so I could find my way home at this time. So that's what I believe, and that's what brings me joy. So I'm going to stick to it. I believe in protecting children, 292. And that is the entire purpose of this entire operation, is to ensure that children will always be safe and are surrounded by loving people that have their greatest in good, the greatest good, obviously, at the forefront. And I love little children. And then there's also, you know, I do forgive these people for the things that they've done. And finally, my children are warming up, and I love them very much. And yeah, so moving on. So my godfather, his name was Donald, right? And so I popped this into gematria. It goes, I put my godfather, because in South Africa we have godparents. So if something happens to your parents, that these people make a promise to your parents that they would take care of you in the event of their death. And my dad's sister, Stella, her husband's name was Donald, and I loved him. He was such a gentle man and a very good soul, very kind. And I did spend a lot of time with him when I was a little girl, when I used to go visit my Oma. So anyway, I put my godfather is also named Donald. It comes to 299 in gematria. It was you from the beginning, 299. Storm of Truth and Justice, 299. They knew I was an easy target, 299. A migrant from the third world, 299. The full moon has odd effects on me, 299. Holy Spirit born in me, 299. He will prepare the way before me, 299. I've always felt this close connection with President Trump, especially the last 4 years. I don't know, there's just something that I could see the light in his soul. And like, he has such a good purpose, and you know that he's trained for this his whole life, the whole military operation. So I guess that's what I saw in him. And then last year I had seen a video where this girl was moving between Sweden and the UK, and she said when President Trump had gone into the hospital, I can't remember, they just vacated my cranium, the name of it, I just had it, Walter Reed, that with COVID, that he had actually been poisoned, and that she had seen, she was a remote viewer, and that Ivanka had signed a DNR. So that's really sad if that is it. But here's my other thought, you know, because President Trump always said like he'd like to lose everything to see who he has in his corner. So I'm kind of wondering, since everybody else was going into witness protection, did he perhaps go into witness protection to see who he could truly trust to change the world? So I don't know, maybe that's what is coming out too, you know, if he did perhaps go into witness protection. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because we really don't know. So there we go. He will prepare the way before me, 299. Witchcraft used against her, 299. Satanic ritual abuse is for real, 299. They know not what they do, 299. You know, that's a bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on that, because people know exactly what they're doing. They choose to be ignorant, because if they didn't, I mean, no, you know what you're doing. And yeah, anyway, as awesome super sniper, 299. This one makes me giggle, because when I read this the first time, I thought of Chris, because I think he was one of the best snipers, right? And that's what kind of, that's why when I saw his name as him being a best friend with Marcus Lateral, it's all flowing. So I'm just gonna, this is my journey, and this is what I share, and hopefully what I'm sharing is interesting. Because again, I'm not being accusatory, but I'm also blessed to live in the country where there's a First Amendment, right, with freedom of speech. So anyway, what's the purpose of a tribe is 299. Infiltration versus invasion, 299. And the serpents will tremble, 299. I came to be hurt by others then, 299. I must be very interesting, 299. Peace be with the truth seekers, 299. I will never fall to darkness, 299. Following the star Sirius, 299. for private astronauts, 299. 13th dimension, Lilith, 299. So Adam had a first wife. Her name was Lilith, okay? So Lilith wanted equal reciprocity of give and take between her and Adam, because that's how the world should be. No woman needs to be governed by a man. And I guess he wanted someone that was subservient to him. So he settled for Eve, that was a whore from the sounds of things. And I don't mean to piss people off by saying that. Or to annoy them. Sorry, I have to be politically correct. No, I'm myself. Anyway, so because she went and slept with a reptilian and Adam on the same day, I guess. So she had two fetuses, you know. One was obviously Cain and Abel. They had two different fathers. And that's where, if people will research it, that's where the AB negative bloodline stems from, right? Is the Alpha Draconian things. And George W. Bush's blood type was AB negative, and I think Diana Spencer's is as well. So again, I'm not saying people that had their blood type are bad. I'm not saying that at all. But because we are unwinding time with the more and more light that's infiltrating the earth, we're going back to the beginning of this time. So I guess there's bloodlines that will be less and less, and especially the AB negative is rare, because these people, if they have a child with a positive RH factor, they need blood products in the hospital to sustain the pregnancy, and it is because of the Canaanite bloodline. It's like a in utero demons versus angels, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying that people that have the blood type are demonic. I'm not saying that at all. It's just hypothesizing, just thinking, because once you realize how evil and cruel George W. Bush was, and, you know, Jesse shares about how he molds children at these hunting parties and stuff that they have, it's kind of shocking. But these people can, from my understanding, like win at all costs and do whatever it takes, even if it means taking the life of another person. And that's why those bloodlines are less and less, and they're more and more rare, because they can't stay in the vibration or frequency of the Earth's resonance that's increasing. Only higher vibrational beings transition into the new world as we move through the dimension changes and the light spectrums. And that's what makes better sense to me as well. I'm not an expert on this. I just go on what God gives me. Or what spirit tells me. So I may be wrong, but again, it's what makes sense to me. And, you know, Len Wood teaches us that if something makes sense, it's partially true. If it makes perfect sense, then it's true. And if it makes no sense, then it's probably not true. So anyway, thank you for protecting me, 299. You know, when I realized that these people were doing magic and witchcraft and trying to sacrifice me, I actually and I was listening to some of the readers, and they said that I have someone protecting me, and I would message El Donaldo Trumpo because I didn't know what was going on. And it's probably funny because I just messaged him like he was my dad. I just felt that comfortable, but I did thank him for protecting me, and those were my words. So it's interesting when I see those. So anyway, enough is enough. No more hiding is 299. Get in the ark before the rains come, 299. Giving power back to the people, 299. 2 million lights sparkle, 299. That's when I think we're going to have the big reveal. The love of the earth is coming back, 299. And that's what's beautiful. And it is, you know, my heart is pure, I know. So as the Schumann resonance increases and the pure of art vibrate higher and higher, that's how we make this world a better place. By each day you're waking up and you try and be the best person that you can be and operate from a place of purity, of love and integrity for all. That's how we make the world a better place, right? And the people that don't conform will just get left behind. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, father of the genius race, you are, 299. Yes, Donald is. And that's what he's teaching us. Intelligent design through gematria. And then you also hone your skills, I guess. And that's why I can listen to some influences that I know are in the military. And I pick up on stuff. And there's a form of communication between us. And, yep, that's my feather and I'm putting it in my cap. I guess this is how we're teaching each other. I believe that's how they're trying to guide me. So, she's protected by a guardian angel, 299. My enemies often have accidents. fuck you, 299. Again, I don't wish anything bad on anyone, but if you wish shit on me, it's going to go back on you. I promise you. So I just want to meet honest, decent people. And I will only work with honest, decent people. And I can tell if you're not. That's why I avoid people once I detect that they're not necessarily of the light. But I know, or I understand that those of us that are sentient irritate the demons in other people. And I'm sorry if I do that. It's not my intention. But maybe that's how we all grow, right? So I can forgive, but I cannot forget. Nothing can stop what is coming. The best is yet to come. Is 299. I am looking for a miracle in my life. 299. I will win earthquake style. 299. Now what makes me giggle, you know, it's time for them to turn our harp off, because that's all of the manipulation, like weather manipulations and stuff. And I don't wish anybody to get hurt in anything, but that makes me giggle. The earthquakes all over the world right now. I also think it's just an opening up of those spaces that have been closed up for the natural energy flow of the earth, while they're balancing the magnetic fields, switching them. So the truth about the truth is 299. Negative 48 lied to me. 299. So I don't know who put this into gematria, because I didn't. So clearly this dude was paid to lie, and I don't know what he lied about, or who. Well, can I hypothesize onto who paid him? But I do think a lot of innocent lives were negatively affected because of jealousy and envy and greed. But those people will have to account for it. So stay calm and look after each other. 299. The native people are the lions. 299. Yep, from Lyra. These are the ones that don't give up, and we keep getting up, and we have zero tolerance for people that are corrupt and greedy and needy and want to use and abuse other people. So how do we fix it? By sending love and light and healing. 299. It's showtime. Now let's go. So again, I wish all things bright and beautiful for everyone. Oh, Revelation 9:11 says, again, I have to go with 9:11, right? So it's, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. So I don't know who that pertains to. I guess, yeah, with time we will see exactly who that is. But I'm ready to have a good time. I'm ready to change the world, and with all of the good people. And I do believe that we'll, you know, once Alves and everybody that went into witness protection comes back out, we can do that. And you know, I do wonder about this program that everybody went into. They called it Gone with the Wind. And I have this, I don't know, part of me wonders, were they just going to like disappear and never come out? I hope not, because I do believe there are very, very good people that have worked so hard to defeat the evil in this world. And I want to celebrate them. I want to celebrate our soldiers. I want to celebrate Jim and John Lennon and all these people that have done just the most amazing things. But I'm sorry, like, I don't think the people that have hijacked some of the others people's spiritual gifts and want to steal them and give them to other people are not deserving. But again, I mean, what can we do? Just have to pat them on the back and forgive them and wish them well in their life. And that's all that I do. And again, I have no ill intention. I don't dislike John Jr. I just have no desire to meet him if he was still alive, because when you come after a little girl when she's 6 years old, and there's more, you know. The other thing that I thought, again, I think Diana presents herself as very sweet, but I question that, because in 1981 was like on September 10th of 1981, it's spring in South Africa, and there was an ice storm, there was a snowstorm where I was, and she got married like a few days before, and I remember I'd watched her at her wedding and I thought she looked really sad. And that was it. You know, I don't idolize anyone, so I don't idolize any celebrity, because they're normal people just like you and me, and I think they are awesome because they're so blessed with great talent. But I I'm not enamored by anybody. And you know, last year I was led to believe that John was my twin. And again, it's when you're harnessing your energy, and I didn't even know what that was, but I've now come to realize that that's not the truth, that it was manipulation and twisting of one's mind. And I wish him well wherever he is, doing whatever he may be doing. And his whole family, I wish them well and beautiful things. And you know, it's not nice to call somebody a vampire, but when you're sending monsters off to little girls. Oh, the other thing with Diana was she was in South Africa too when I had the greatest loss. Oh, and when in 81 was when my parents were getting divorced. And then in 97, she was in South Africa. My father's birthday was on Good Friday that year, and he died on April 4th. There seems to be a fascination with Easter. And, you know, if you also look at Ishtar, they demonized her as well. Religion demonizes anything that's good. That's why I'm like, oh, do what you will with your religion. Because there's so many different religions. And I don't condemn. I mean, if people want to be religious and believe a certain way, that's okay. As long as, you know, we all have our own ways to God. But I can't do it when it sounds too much of a satanic ritual. And when you realize that Christ was an ascended master, just like Muhammad and Gandhi and everybody else, that just wants to make the world a better place. That's what we continue to hope for. And I wish them all well. And I don't understand this whole thing. But that was the greatest loss, and my heartache was so great. And she went into witness protection later on that year. And you know, my sister committed suicide as well, and then John went into witness protection. Again, I'm not saying that they're responsible. I'm just saying that it's weird that these things happen and they draw from your energy, because I think people have had lots of time to connect. But I think the deal changed for me when you tried to sacrifice me, whoever that might be. Again, I'm not accusing anybody, but when all of these things have happened, it's like, how can you not? So anyway, I wish everybody well, and I just want to bring my brothers home so that we can make the world a better place. And I hope and pray, I would like to know the 13 that have been affected, and I hope that they're all safe and well, and that we can get together at some point and make the world a bright and beautiful place. Take care, and all things bright and beautiful. I'll never say bless because I don't ever want you to be less.